Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. We're going to be doing this live stream. If you're watching this after it's published, I apologize. It's an hour long or maybe even longer than an hour. Don't get too frustrated. But I'm going to do a couple coins right here in the beginning just so that we can ensure that we can get some of them out of the way, including Ethereum, Tron, Ripple, and so forth. First, we're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to be using several different indicators today, including the moving average exponential. We're going to be using the 3 moving averages, the relative strength index, as well as the volume. This is our trading view chart, by the way. The link is in the description. It's a free resource. So if you want yours to look just like mine, just open up those indicators and we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. So let's go ahead and start. So currently looking at Bitcoin, I do want to give you guys a quick update here on what's happening here. Obviously, we've got some support here being formed right around $10,782 here. I was going to say Satoshis. And if you can actually zoom in, you can see exactly what happened today. It was almost like a little bull trap. I woke up today and I saw prices were up right around this level and I was like, give me a break. This is going down. Because once again, my prediction right now for Bitcoin, obviously you can see we've dropped below that 100-day moving average. You can see indicating here in this green bar, this is the 100-day. You can see we are below that right now. Therefore, in my opinion, Bitcoin is in that free fall mode. It doesn't really have that strong, stable support just yet. So I think, in my opinion, we're going to head down to this 200-day moving average right around the 8,864 range. Now, as we start to head down, in my opinion, we're going to start to see a lot of these bull traps just come up out of nowhere. And that's really where you see prices just kind of increase out of nowhere. And if you guys want, I'll actually pull up the definition here for those of you that are new to trading here. Bull trap here is a false signal indicating that a declining trend in a stock or index has reversed and is heading upwards when in fact the security will continue to decline. And that's exactly what bull traps look like right here, where it will go up. People are like, oh, it's going up now. Nope, it starts to go down, goes up again, and then goes back down. So be careful for these bull traps. Don't get fooled. Don't buy into it just because you see prices are positive. In my opinion, when we start to see the prices reverse and we see a true reversal, once we hit the bottom, I think prices will dramatically increase at a speed that is almost unheard of, right? It's something that we've seen in the past, and you can see here in the RSI, we are right above that 30 right now. We haven't hit bottom yet in the one-day RSI, just like we did here, where we hit bottom and then we saw that parabolic run-up immediately afterwards. So typically what we'll see here, once again, as soon as we hit bottom, you'll see something similar to this, where we'll hit that bottom and we will immediately increase, and you'll see that parabolic run-up start to gauge itself. And that is if we go up, right? So once again, this is extremely it's in a position of uncertainty right now. That's really where Bitcoin is at. A lot of people are selling their holdings, trying to take profits in expectations that prices are going to head down. Where for me, I'm hodling, because once again, not only is that going to be easier for me on taxes, but I have the anticipation that prices will eventually reverse, and we'll start to see some more upside, as I don't think that we've reached the bottom just yet. So pulling up TRX BTC, let's go ahead and pull up Tron, see what's going on here. You can see we're still following that graph that we drew out a couple live streams ago. We'll go ahead and remove these drawing tools just to get a clearer view here. You can see based on that 50-day moving average, we're currently about, let's say, 26% away from that 50-day moving average, which isn't really that bad for Tron, just looking at it right now, being the fact that a couple days ago, we were extremely far away from that 50-day moving average. And you can see now that we've consolidated towards that and bounced off of that 50-day, we have a little bit of support being formed there. And in my opinion, Tron, as time progresses and as it has that time to mature, we might start to see some sort of upside, just depending upon, is this pattern going to start to squeeze and pop or not? And you can see here we're finding that support right around 609 Satoshis, with the resistance right about 704 Satoshis. So it's kind of creating that little paintball barrel right there. And as that continues to slide through this barrel, we'll hopefully see that squeeze itself to a potential breakout, being that it's so close to that 50-day moving average, which is why I'm a little bit optimistic about Tron in the next couple of days. So let's go ahead and pull up XRP BTC really quick, see what's happening here. Very similar to Tron, you can see it's also seeing that horizontal channel form right around 11,079 Satoshis. We're seeing some resistance here, minor resistance right around 12,590 Satoshis. What I like to do is I like to narrow these channels down, right? So you can see I have multiple different support and resistance levels drawn out here. And I like to do that so that I can actually get a better perspective on where price levels are at in the real time versus a more bird's eye view perspective of where prices are heading in more of a fundamental aspect where we're looking at the long term, right? So that's kind of like the approach that I like to take, especially with a coin like this that has had a lot of upside over the past couple of days. It's interesting to see coins like this because you just never know when these coins are going to come up or see the upside that it's seen in the past. So I'm really optimistic for the market in general. Just hoping to see when are we going to hit that bottom for Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and pull up Qtum really quick. I do want to show this graph to you guys because it's interesting. You have these really clear support levels up here around, it looks to be around 419,000 Satoshis. You can see right above here is where that support is being formed. And what's interesting about Qtum is it also has these pretty clear support levels. I'm sorry, this was resistance. It also has these pretty clear support levels. You can see right now we're right around 289,000 Satoshis. And now we're forming a little bit more of a tighter channel here with the support right around 353,000 Satoshis, finding that resistance right around 37,000 Satoshis. So a lot of these graphs are just kind of going horizontal. It's just almost like this medium point in time where we just really need to wait for these graphs to mature. In my opinion, I think Bitcoin is really the one holding up against all of these prices right now. I think a lot of these coins are waiting for Bitcoin to really make some dramatic price movements for them to also see some sort of dramatic price movements. If you actually pull up the coin market cap, you guys can actually see here exactly what's happening with the market. If you look at the 24-hour change, you can see, I mean, just a minute ago, this was all red. You can see Stellar just looks like it popped here. Let's pull up XLM really quick and see what's happening here. So XLM just, oh wow, look at that. So XLM is actually testing these support or these resistance levels. So this is going to be interesting to watch. Maybe we might see a breakout here, guys, and we'll do this live together. Let's go ahead and see who we have on live right now. So let's pull up our live dashboard here. Let's see what we got. Who is online right now while we're watching Stellar? Somebody said Litecoin. Jose Antonio Garcia Machado. That's an interesting name. What up, Dan Austin? What's up, Joe? Sorry, I thought it said Jose, but it said Joe. Aaron Manning is in the house. Chicago Music Festivals. Matt Marin. Dago Lemon. Azumi. Viesh. Yoham. Mike. Carlos. Emma is in the house. F Google. Chris Young. Unsane Media. Good to have you guys. Matt. Felix, Nick, Yoham again, Dan, 10X, Mega, Daniel, James, and Clark is here. Aesthetic, Fernando. Wow, everybody's in the house tonight. Mickey, Stuart H. What up, guys? Somebody said, where can I buy a Nano Ledger S that hasn't been tampered with? Are they safe to just order off Amazon or eBay? Yeah, they're fairly safe to just order off of Amazon and eBay, Mr. Ramos G. I don't believe that there's any sort of risk with that unless somebody has returned it previously and they've put it back on the stocks, which you hopefully could tell, if that has occurred. But I haven't heard of many stories of any sort of like, hackings or anything. John Marino said, join the Patreon. It's worth it. Patreon. Yes. Actually, interesting that we say that. So we actually posted this trade alert, the last trading alert. If you guys are on our Patreon, some of you guys are, some of you guys aren't. But we posted this trade alert and we actually saw a huge run up today after the trading alert was posted. So this is the trading alert that we actually posted here. This was the last trading alert we've posted here is TNB, Time New Bank. And then for those of you that are on the Patreon, if you actually look at what happened to TNB, it was interesting because look at this. It's 41% up today. So we posted this trade alert a couple days ago, yeah, January 19th, and then you look at it now because it was forming that rounding bottom, and I had identified the rounding bottom, and we posted this, and then look at that. So I know a lot of people made gains. Somebody actually said, confirm this broke out as well, up 25% at the time of this post. Good call. That's awesome. And I think there was another one here that was good too. Got in a position last night, kept going down until it broke out. Great call. It's breaking out now. Strong surge in price. That's now forming a bull flag on the 15 and 30 minute chart. Good call, Naeem. I got in right before the action. So yeah, hopefully you guys are on the Patreon taking advantage of that. But we had some awesome calls there. Time New Bank did have that huge breakout. And it was pretty predictable. You know, I can actually pull up the chart here to show you exactly how it was predictable, so you guys can actually empower yourself to do something similar in the future for yourself. Whether you're on the Patreons or not, this could help you if you're looking at your own trades. You see, this was a very clear rounding bottom, guys. If I actually post, let me pull up this Discord really quick just to show you exactly what this rounding bottom looks like. If you post the Trading 101 here, so this is pretty much how a rounding bottom is created. It differs from the cup and handle in the fact that the cup and handle has this initial breakout that really starts the cup, right? The rounding bottom is a little bit different, in which the rounding bottom is actually coming from a downtrend, and once it comes from that downtrend, it forms the cup pretty much exactly the same as a cup and handle, except once it hits that downtrend and it peaks back, it finds a resistance level where it then consolidates, and it's an extreme consolidation after that, where it pretty much finds a double bottom. So you can see another difference here with the rounding bottom versus the cup and handle. The cup and handle, you can see once it goes up, it finds that bottom, that double bottom occurs. And the same thing here, except instead the rounding bottom is from this descending pattern. So it's pretty much what you'll find when something hits the bottom, right? And then you see it start to emerge, finds that next resistance level where it previously found resistance, and then it forms kind of like a handle, but not really. It's just a little bit of a minor consolidation halfway through, still above these support levels, and then that's really where the breakout occurs. So you can see exactly what happened with that here, occurred here. That's why I made the call, because you can see there was a downtrend, and then it formed the cup. It found that peak level again, then it bounced away, and this is where I really I posted it on the Patreon, and I said, hey, you know, there's a rounding bottom here, right here. The handle formed, and as soon as that handle formed, look what we saw, huge breakout here. So somebody said it's a pump and dump. Well, if it was a pump and dump, then as soon as I posted it, it would have went up. But that's not the way we do our Patreon trade alerts. Is we make sure it's a swing trade, because if I post day trades, you know, I used to do that. People get mad because they just don't have time to actually take advantage of it. But when I post trades like this that you actually have time to trade, then you can look at this maybe every now and then look at the charts that I post and then determine for yourself whether or not you want to put in a position or not. And I think that works better for a lot of our members. So hopefully that helps out anyways. Somebody said, love the night owl last night. That is awesome, man. I'm glad you did. Good to have you on that night owl. That was an awesome night owl. We're having a night owl tonight, by the way. It's going to be on our Discord under Voice 2. So everybody, look at that. Wow. Everybody loves the night owl, man. If you guys didn't come to the night owl last night, you are missing out. So I highly recommend all of you guys to get there tonight. You guys will certainly have a good time. The night owl is going to be under Voice 2. And if you're only going to be on the chat, it's going to be Voice 2 chat. So I'll see you guys there tonight. Somebody says, what coins have you covered, Naeem? I don't know, Gabriel. What coin do you want to cover, brother? Why don't we take a request? Let's take a request. Hey, buddy, my laptop ran out of battery. I don't know if you responded to my question, but ISO token just got added to Binance, but I haven't been able to find much info about it. Interesting. I haven't looked at that coin much, Jose. I do apologize. Maybe at the night owl we can talk a little bit more about it. Hey, man, could you do some looking at Cardano? I think it's going to be a big news when the Weiss report comes out tomorrow. Yeah, people are talking about this WEISS report. You know, I think that's what the topic of the night owl will be tonight, because everybody's talking about that. So I'm going to save that for the night owl. You know, I think that will help, you know, bring a little bit more of a discussion towards the night owl. So we'll save that. I'd rather do a dialogue with a conversation like that rather than doing it monologue through the live stream. And I think you guys would agree with that. You know, I think it's better to hear other perspectives, especially when we're doing a discussion rather than just doing technical analysis, right? So somebody said, just made 2 freaking ETH off of IOST tonight. Awesome. Good for you, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and see what requests are coming up. Somebody said Vibe. Is it open for everybody? Yes, it's open for everybody. The Night Owl is open for everybody. We're doing our Ruby live calls separate now from the Night Owl. We'll have that Night Owl open for everybody. Somebody said, what do you think about ADA though? I think Cardano has a lot of potential long term. Why don't we pull up ADA Cardano? That'll be our next request here. So ADA BTC. Let's go ahead and take a look here at what's happening with ADA BTC. Now, the one thing about a lot of these coins, guys, that I want you guys to be aware of is we're most likely not going to see a lot of breakouts as Bitcoin starts to consolidate. Now, if Bitcoin does end up reversing earlier than we expect, then we'll definitely see a lot of upside for a lot of these coins. But, you know, for me, to be honest with you, even this TNB call that I made, I was pretty surprised about because, you know, the market itself was pretty down, but it was just a strong pattern for me. And that, see, this is for all those that doubt technical analysis. I want you guys to look at this. Like, even in a market that is down, technical analysis actually worked against that market. Like, for, you know, there's a lot of people that hate against technical analysis. And, you know, for me, I understand it's not the end all be all, but look at this. I mean, this is a perfect example of how a rounding bottom was formed and we saw a breakout. You know, even in a down market, it's not like this was influenced because of Bitcoin or something of that sort. It was just, it was a down market that ended up breaking out. And it was because of a pattern that was formed, right? So, you know, I just want you guys to be aware of that. Technical analysis does have a part to play in trading, and some people overlook it. And I think it's something that they're lacking if they overlook it, because if you're only using fundamental analysis, you're only going to get so far, because for the most part, fundamental analysis is already being fundamentalized by those that are inside within the corporations. Or, you know, for me personally, I've decided to actually stay a little bit longer here in California because I want to attend a little bit more of these crypto meetings that occur here in Santa Monica. You know, I realize that there's a huge crypto community out here, and you know, I've made the decision to kind of stay out here a little bit longer just to kind of, you know, get more in tune with, you know, these crypto enthusiasts and these individuals that are making millions of dollars in the crypto space, because that's really where the information is, guys. You know, I was at a conference recently, a couple of days ago, and, you know, just hearing from these individuals, it was astounding to me. You know, there were awesome individuals there. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this chart. I don't know if you guys want to hear much about that. Maybe we'll talk about it in the Night Owl. This is pretty much descending right now. You can see this descending channel form with these descending support and resistance levels. You know, pretty much, in my opinion, with ADA, we might see it go back down to these support levels and then bounce back up, as it's continued to do for quite a while now. Since December 31st, it's pretty much seen support around this level here of 4,996 Satoshis, right around 5,000 Satoshis. It's pretty much seeing that support level. So I think we'll continue to bounce on top of that. So if you guys are looking to make maybe even a quick swing trade, as this starts to approach this bottom, that's a potential profit there, because you can see every time it hits, you see this spur of volume just come up out of nowhere. So I'd expect it to do the same exact thing that it did here and here. So I'd say let this chart mature, just like we're, you know, talking about with a lot of these other charts, and then as time progresses with Cardano, we can potentially see that breakout occur in the future. But if you guys want to make a quick swing trade as it approaches that support level, then you can certainly start to watch it to see, is it going to find some upside support there. So hopefully that helps out. Let's take another request here. This is not that fun of a graph right now. Somebody said status vibe. Let's see which one is the most popular request here. Chris Young in the house, Michael Nixon in the house, Patrick, Robert Bergner, Supreme said LTC, Wesley said Link, Robbie said please go over ETN. I like Electroneum. Cryptex, Neblio, Dan Austin. Let's see. Felix said VeChain. Gabriel said SMT. Malik said ICX. Capris said UTK. I'm hearing all of these tickers that I've never heard of in my life. That is hilarious. Freehug said NEBL. Azumi said Pivx will go up. Dan Austin said Vibe. Why don't we do Vibe? I've seen a lot of Vibe. I see a lot of ETC. I'm seeing a lot of LTC. Let's do Vibe. So we'll do Vibe BTC. Vibe is actually another call that I made earlier, which hasn't yet broke out. And I'm also not going to say it's reversed yet either, because you can see, yeah, we're seeing some consolidation. However, it's still within that range. If you guys pull up the 1 day, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and make this look a little bit better here. Okay. Let me actually clear this out really quick so we can redraw here. Sometimes you have to redraw, right? So you can see exactly what's occurring here. Let's pull up the 3 hour really quick. So pretty much formed this cup and handle here, where we saw the base of that cup. You saw this initial run up. You saw the base form right over here, and then you saw this is the handle. What would be the best case scenario is it's going to come down. It's going to drop below 30 RSI here. So if you pull up the 1 day, you can see, well, let's pull up the 4 hour. You can see we're starting to head below that 30 RSI level. So I think as it can start finding its support, it'll probably break right here where it found previous support levels. So I'm guessing this is going to come here and then bounce and then go up. And the reason I say that is because, once again, it's forming that cup and handle here. And it's okay for the cup and handle to overstretch if it's happening once the cup has already occurred. So if it's overstretched here in the left-hand side, it's not necessarily the best way to form a pattern. But if it's overstretched on the right-hand side where the handle is occurring, that is a little bit more acceptable because it's already formed the primary pattern, which is the cup that we're looking for. And a cup is pretty much, it's almost like a yin yang, right? Like if you split this in half, you've got green on the right and then red on the left. And that's kind of how a cup and handle forms. And that's really what the cup and handle is known for. So if you look at this graph here, you can see exactly what the cup and handle looks like. And if the handle gets overstretched, that's completely fine. Because at the end of the day, what you're really looking for is the cup to form and then this handle to form, or at least continue, but not go below these previous support levels. So as long as it doesn't go below those previous support levels, then the handle itself is completely satisfactory in terms of validating the pattern. So I am expecting a potential breakout for Vibe. This is a call that I made a couple days ago. This was also on our Patreon. It just hasn't broke out yet. It did break out at one point, and some people made profits, but I think the real breakout is yet to come. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Let's go ahead and pull up the chat here, see what else we have. So somebody said VeChain. Somebody said ICX kills Neo. It kills Neo, literally, LMAO. I guess so. If you say so. Let's go ahead and see what else people are saying. Binance coin. There's a reverse. That's a reverse cup and handle, homie. How's it a reverse cup and handle? It has the initial breakout. The cup is formed, and now there's a handle. How is that a reverse? Look, breakout. I think you're looking at this descent here. That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this breakout, because this breakout is pretty significant. It was extremely, it had a high angle. So let's go ahead and take another request here. Somebody said POET Lisk. Is ETH going to turn into a double bottom in the next few hours? Good question, Mr. Riptoid. I like questions like that where you're more specific. Is ETH going to hit a double bottom? Let's pull up the 1 day chart. That's the best way to determine a double bottom. ETH is nowhere near double bottom. Look at the RSI. The RSI is what determines. Let me show you something. This will help out. So double bottom reversal is a bullish reversal pattern typically found on bar charts, line charts, and candlestick charts. As its name implies, the pattern is made up of two consecutive troughs that are roughly equal with a moderate peak in between. And typically when you're looking at a double bottom, you're looking for, this doesn't show it here, but the RSI is what you want to look for in a double bottom. And I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So hopefully one of these charts have the RSI pulled up here. So when I'm looking for a double bottom, let's go ahead and pull this up here. So this is a perfect example. So you can see the double bottom here where the RSI goes below 30 twice together within the same period of time. And, you know, right now with Ethereum, if you look at how far we are from that 50-day moving average, we're quite a bit away from that at 30%. So I think we're a little bit far from that 50-day in my opinion. You know, for Ethereum to see some upside, that would really mean that, you know, that 50-day has to catch up to it. I think in order for this price to increase, we would want to see this catch up a little bit more with Ethereum. I just don't see that happening. I think Ethereum might have a minor correction before it starts to see some upside. You know, I've taken profits from Ethereum already at these higher levels. Once it had this breakout, I was able to take my profits. So in my opinion, I would say, you know, with Ethereum, it's more of a coin that you want to give a little bit of time for before putting in another position, because it is at these high levels compared to coins like Bitcoin where, you know, you're under that 50-day moving average. So that's pretty much where I stand with Ethereum. Let's go ahead and pull up another request, guys. Let's see what else we have here. Somebody said turtle coin. Will Litecoin have a breakout in the next few weeks? Somebody said, do your research. NEO is a centralized coin. It is of no interest of anyone for anyone other than the Chinese to use this coin. Read the white paper on ICX. Alfred, you heard him. Maybe we'll talk about that tonight. Do you think XLM will keep moving to previous highs? Good question. Who asked that question? Johnny Monslave. Do you think XLM will continue to move towards previous highs? Let's go ahead and pull that up here. Let's go ahead and see XLM here. Put up my other graph. Okay, beautiful chart. This is what we were watching before. If this does continue to break out and break this resistance level, I can certainly see a potential breakout. I actually might make this trade if it does break out, because I am looking to make trades. I'm almost like fiending for a trade right now, to be quite honest with you. You know, I don't know about you guys, but how's your January been in trading? Why don't we take a quick poll? How's your guys' January been in trading? Somebody said, I got 80,000 lumens. I hope it's a monster. Did you hear about banning altcoins by governments this year? Some guys are saying that on Discord last night. I wasn't there when they said that. That was probably after. But how are you guys doing tonight or this month in terms of trading? Somebody said very bad, Joel. Jonathan said trash. Azumi said sucks. Malik said all Jan. Mr. Momo said blah. Stuart said okay, but been better. Johnny said awful. Well, how about this? Let me bring a little bit of light towards this, guys. So tonight in the Night Owl, hopefully we can get one of our margin traders online tonight. He does a lot of margin trading, and he's actually had a really good week, actually a really good month. And maybe he can shed some light on some different trading strategies. You know, I haven't really talked to him about this. I'm just kind of throwing it out there, but you know, hopefully he's open to do it. And you know, he's done very well this month just margin trading, and you know, sometimes that type of perspective can really help individuals that are just trading with one style, maybe just day trading or just swing trading or just looking for these quick, you know, breakouts. So I would highly recommend that. CN said, you don't talk about XRB anymore. XRB, Rayblox. We were actually at a Night Owl, and somebody said there are buys, just have to time it. We were at a Night Owl, and we actually had an Ripple developer in the Night Owl, and he talked about Rayblox's coding and how there's a lot of discrepancies in it and a lot of vulnerabilities. And you know, ever since he kind of gave me that perspective, I looked more into it, and there is a big vulnerability of double spending with Rayblox. Now, of course, you know, their platform, you know, the way their token works in the front end user interface is extremely nice. You know, it's fast, it works. But within the coding, there is some vulnerabilities that I found, and a lot like IOTA. For me, IOTA. Sorry, I just got a message. What the heck? Oh, interesting. It's almost like IOTA, right? The IOTA Tangle network that was created by IOTA. It's a little bit of a different approach to the way a blockchain is created. They didn't necessarily use an MIT approved, cryptography strategy, but they more so took their own approach by creating their own Tangle network. And in my opinion, I think that when you're looking at coins for the long term, you're trying to make a logical decision on whether or not you want to invest in something long term. You really want to look at the vulnerabilities or the potential vulnerabilities in the future, because it could really hurt a coin. Somebody mentioned this in the Night Owl last night, but think about Chipotle. When Chipotle had an initial public offering, and it went great, and Chipotle was on the rise, and and this is traditional stocks, and then they had one incident with one of their stores in North Carolina, one of their restaurants in North Carolina, with it was a health incident, and then their stock tanked, right? And it hasn't necessarily seen the recovery that it was deserving to see after what happened. And one little thing can really wipe something out. And I think that's kind of the way that I see projects. I want to make sure that there's no possibility of that, because that's kind of where my money is going, right? I want to make sure my money is going somewhere where I feel confident and safe, and I want to ensure that if I'm going to put my money there, that there's a potential for it to grow long term without the worry of some sort of potential news that takes everything to the floor. So it's kind of like more of a preference for me to kind of step away from coins like that, especially after I've done my due diligence, after hearing it from a developer. It's just like one thing leads to another. And I've just chosen to stay away from Rayblox. Not that I think it's a bad project, I just feel like there's some vulnerabilities in there. And if you look at Rayblox and where it's at right now, if we pull up this, we're at number 21, we're at $13. We had this huge upside for Rayblox at one point, and then we saw this huge consolidation. So we'll see what happens. So let's take some requests, guys. Or we can do a quick Q&A. How about that? Let's do a quick Q&A. Let's see what people are saying. Devin B said, ha 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 ha, yep. I don't know what you're agreeing with, but that's funny. Are we having a Night Owl tonight? Yes, we are. We're having a Night Owl tonight, guys. For those of you that aren't on our Discord, this is actually a platform that we've created for our community. It's a free platform. There's no ads on it. There's actually all of these different areas that you guys can chat and talk about different coins and charts. We actually have tons of success stories here of people that have made tons of money just being part of the community, not because of any one specific person, but just getting tons of different perspectives. I mean, I've never seen so many success stories, and this has just been after a month of having this Discord up and running, and we can go up and up and up, and it will literally never stop. So I would highly recommend you guys get on Discord. Tonight, we're going to be doing a Night Owl under voice_2. So I'd love to see some of you guys there tonight. If you guys do get on the Night Owl tonight, you guys can ask questions, plug in your microphone. You guys don't necessarily have to talk if you guys just want to kind of stay in there, introverts. I know there's a lot of introverts out there. So if you guys want to just come in and chill, relax, talk to, or maybe just listen in, it's completely up to you. So I'd love to see some of you guys there. That's going to be tonight. So somebody said, guys, NAS isn't on TradingView. So let's take the questions. What are people saying here? Talk about the rise of BTC right now. Is that a high or low, Mr. Reptor? I think it's a bull trap. I think we're going to see a couple of these bull traps as it starts to head down towards that 200-day moving average around 8,600 US dollars. Somebody said Ripple is moving up on Binance. Nice. Do you think BTC has been going down because of BTC futures or because of all the FUD? I think the futures definitely have something to do with the volatility decreasing more than it's ever been. But do I think the futures have a huge influence on it? Certainly. Now, does that mean it's going to keep the price down? I don't think so. I think that there hasn't really been institutional money that has really poured into the market yet. And I think once institutional money comes into the market, that's when we're truly going to see a lot of upside for Bitcoin. And I think that's really where things are going to start to, really blow up in regards to Bitcoin's market cap. I mean, a lot of people are still in the market of purchasing Bitcoin. A lot of people haven't really purchased their positions that they've, wanted to purchase yet, and let alone these institutional traders. I mean, even if they wanted to invest in Bitcoin right now, these hedge funds, these mutual funds, they don't have the ability to, because what are they going to do? Open up a Coinbase account and have a $3,000 limit? It's something we talked about yesterday in our night owl. And I think, shedding more light on that is important, because that's kind of the truth here. I mean, at the end of the day, the institutional money really hasn't came into the market yet. That's why you've seen these bubbles like the .com bubble go all the way past $10 trillion versus this quote unquote bubble that isn't even at $1 trillion. So it's kind of hard to even call it a bubble right now. So that's just kind of my opinion right now. Somebody said, let's see here. Sarah, what's with all the spam tonight every 3 seconds? Yeah, seriously. You can relax here. Says join us in our night owl tonight on Discord. Thank you for promoting it. I don't mind the promotion, but don't aggravate anybody. Vibe commercial. Somebody said vibe commercial. Somebody said, hey, can you do TA on GTFO, please? I don't think there's a coin called GTFO, is there? I've never heard of a coin called GTFO. Yeah, I think you're trying to make a joke here. Let's see what else we've got. Does Link have an extended cup and handle? We should make a coin called GTFO. Maybe it'll just, like, I feel like that's how the market is right now, right? Like, you have these coins like Dogecoin that, I mean, I'm not going to say that it has no use, but I mean, is it worth over $1 billion? Who knows, right? Sometimes you just kind of have to question some projects. What time does the Night Owl discussion start? It's after the live stream, Wendell. We go straight into the live streams. Somebody said GTO. Okay, they didn't mean GTFO. They meant GTO. Okay, that makes more sense. Have you had a chance to look at Pivx? A lot of people are saying Pivx. Why don't we look at Pivx really quick and see where that's headed here? Let's pull up PVIX here. Hopefully we can pull it up on this graph here. Let's pull Pivx up. So Pivx BTC. Okay, we're seeing some consolidation. Interesting chart. So we're heading towards that 50-day, but on the 1 day, you can see we're quite a bit away from that 50-day. So we're about 35%, 34% away from that 50-day moving average. I think this coin is going to go down back to the 50-day. And the reason I say that is we went above the 50-day, bounced on the 50-day, bounced on the 50-day, bounced on the 50-day, probably going to bounce on the 50-day once again. So pretty simple analysis here. And one indicator of that is these rising resistance and rising support levels. So it would just make sense for that coin to kind of follow that. So this is a very simple graph here. When you have these really clear resistance and support levels, and you have clear, when I say support levels, I'm also talking about that 50-day moving average acting as a support level, because the fact that it's continuously bouncing on that 50-day, that shows me that it's most likely going to continue to do that, right? Because history repeats itself. So that's what I would say here. So let's go ahead and take in another request. Oh my gosh, more spam. Somebody said TNT has done great recently. Thoughts on Velocity token? What is needed for a token to maintain its value? Can you please go over the ETN before I go crazy? Oh my god. I could just imagine somebody pulling their hair out behind the computer screen like, just do ETN already. I apologize. I can't do every request, but we'll do ETN. All right, fine. We'll do Electroneum. I like Electroneum. So, oh my gosh. That cracks me up. That is ridiculous. Some people, man. Somebody said, how about Petrocoin? Oh, might as well do Petrocoin then too, right? I don't know what I don't know how I feel about trading a coin that was made by, Venezuela, right? Nothing against Venezuela. It's a beautiful country, but, a coin from Venezuela. So if we pull up ETN, let's go ahead and see what we've got here in the chart. Hopefully we can pull this up fairly safe. So here's ETN. I have most of my Electroneum in my paper Electroneum wallet. It's a coin that I've invested heavily in. You know, I actually just recently made more. I made more purchases and sent that to my. Actually, I think I have some Electroneum in my Cryptopia. I think I have a little bit here. Yeah, look at that. I got 13,000 Electroneum here. So I'm holding about 13,000 in Cryptopia alone. So that's just part of my position in Electroneum. But I'm heavily invested in this coin. I like Electroneum as a project. Not to, you know, just put out an ICO like that, but that's just a project that I've really been invested in, and it's a project that I really have a lot of optimism for. I think there's going to see quite a bit of upside in the future, and the reason being is it has a lot of community support. You know, it passes my criteria in terms of mass adoption, you know, solving a problem, having a strong team, and it really has all of that. And you know, even the chart, I love the chart. You can see here, it's almost acting like the early days of Ripple, where it's really maintaining its prices, not seeing much volatility over the long haul. And it's a coin that I'm very optimistic about. So, you know, there's not much to say about this graph. There's only so much technical analysis that we can do here, being the fact that it's not necessarily a technical graph, but it's definitely a coin that I'm optimistic about. So hopefully that helps in some way, shape, or form. Amir said, thank you, Naeem, for your effort. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I try my best to get these live streams out every single night, no matter what. Somebody said, Venezuela wants to launder money through the coin. Yeah, I don't want to say it, but there you go. Somebody said, just let him go crazy. Ha, 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 ha. Johnny, that's right. Let him pull his hair out. You are pretty legit, though. Thank you, Mr. Graham. I appreciate that. Somebody said, what happened to IOST? Chris Young said, Monero. Somebody said, do Lisk or the kid gets it. Oh, now you guys are going to try to come up with like the perfect thing to say. Somebody said, being new to crypto world, how do I start researching different coins and how to learn to read charts like you are right now? Trevor, I have a perfect answer for you, brother. We have a Discord. The link is in the description below. And if you join our Discord, once you join, go to the tools area and read all of the Trading 101 charts. Now, what I would do, though, after you read all the charts is I would start with the first two, the ascending triangle and the bullish symmetric triangle. The reason I say that is these are two fairly easy charts. The two that I started with were the cup and handle and the head and shoulders. So if you guys want to start with that, you can. That was a reversal chart and then a breakout chart, or breakout pattern and a reversal pattern. Soon I'm going to have this all labeled in as reversal patterns and breakout patterns. But this is your start, and then I would go to resources, look at all of these resources, see if any of them interest you. Look at the helpful read section. There's some books here that can help you out. And then the most important thing is coming into our night owl tonight. So all of you guys that are watching this live stream right now, you guys have the ability to join us in our night owl tonight. And all you got to do is click the Discord link. You can set it up in your web browser and just join voice 2. And we're all going to be here tonight, and we're going to have a dialogue discussion where you guys are going to be able to ask questions. I'm sure people are already talking in there. I mean, if we go in there.
I do long and short. I don't even do day trading. I do margin trading for the most part.
Oh, look at that. Hey, Gamer Boy.
What's up, man?
No, I'm sorry. Who's talking about margin trading?
Sanyabi.
Sanyabi, hey, do you mind if for the night owl you can do a quick like margin trading 101 thing when we do the night owl?
I mean, yeah, I can explain.
Awesome, thank you, bro.
Let's hear it.
All right, we'll head over here soon. All right, there you go, guys. Look at that confirmation, baby. You guys want to do margin trading tonight? You want to learn a little bit about margin trading? Come into our night owl tonight. The Discord link is in the description below. And then you guys can come on there and learn a little bit more about margin trading. So there you go. That's how you learn, right? Just ask. So I did, you know, anybody could have done that, right? Anybody could have went in there and said, hey, could you tell me about margin trading? I heard you're making money. And there you go. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys there. Johnny said, nice, thank you. There you go. Do LTC or I swear I'll cut it off right now. You are hilarious. Talk about how to spot the bull traps. Mr. Reptoid, good question. So to spot a bull trap, somebody said, hey, Naeem, if you're in fiat or BTC, I need to stay on track. To spot a bull trap, Rido said, that's how you do it. Everyone is so friendly in the community. Is the night owl for everyone? Yes, Fernando, it's for everyone. Anybody can join the night owl. There's no restriction to the night owl. Everybody's allowed to the night owl. I've made the decision that I don't want to hold it towards a certain area here right now. Yeah, thank you, Big B. Big B is really awesome. And then Jack Jackal, you can have a nice day, brother. He said, why do you want to get beginners into margin trading? I'm not getting any beginners into margin trading. I just said, let's do a margin trading 101, right? It's like reading Margin Trading for Dummies, just getting a quick understanding. Because here's the thing. I don't know if any of you guys are interested in margin trading. And if you are, then you might really do good. Like you might do really good in margin trading. You just don't know what it is. So first you have to be exposed to it. And that's why I like exposing you guys to different areas. My mentor taught me this. He said, Naeem, it's never going to hurt you to try something. Never going to hurt you to try something. Because if you just try it and you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. Simple as that. So somebody asked, how do I spot bull flags? So, or I'm sorry, bull traps. So in order to spot a bull trap, there isn't a pattern to spot it, right? Because a bull trap is when prices, for example, right here, this could have been considered a bull trap here. So prices went down and then prices went up here. And because prices were going down so low, people were like, oh my God, that's it. We hit the bottom and now we're reversing. Let me buy in. And then guess what happened? It went down lower. So how do you prevent this from happening? Well, you have to take a step back and you have to look at what is the long-term pattern that's forming here. You can't predict bull traps by looking at the short term. You can't zoom in and say, okay, this is going to become a bear trap. No, you have to actually zoom out and you have to look at the overall trend. You have to tell yourself, okay, first of all, where are we at in terms of moving average? So in the moving average, you can see we bounced off of this 100-day, which is always expected in a downtrend. Anytime you're going in a downtrend, you're probably going to bounce off the 50, 100, and the 200-day, just because there are traders already setting up buy and sell orders around those areas, depending on if we're going up or down. And it's the opposite if we're going up. If we're ascending, you'll see resistance around those lines. So what I would say is you want to take that step back. You want to look at the chart and you want to determine, okay, number one, why is it starting to rise right now? Okay, it's bouncing off this 100-day. That can make you assume that prices are going up. Well, let's say you do put in a buy order, right? All you need to do is be aware of your buy order and know that, okay, if it crosses this 100-day, if it goes up and then goes down under, it's most likely going to go down further. And guess what happened? It went down. This is a really good example. Check this out, guys. This is a really good example. So in this example, not only did we bounce off this 100-day, but we broke the support level. We dropped down, and this is what I expect to happen for Bitcoin. And then we bounced off of the 200-day. This is exactly how I think Bitcoin is going to go. It's going to continue to go down. It's going to start to drop below that 100-day, and I think it's going to bounce off of that 200-day, just like this happened. And then you can see this didn't look too good actually long term, but now it's finally seeing that upside. But I think Bitcoin will bounce off of this, and that's really where it's going to see its upside. See, the fact that it went down here has nothing to do with what happened here. This is a past pattern. So the point is we did reverse at this 200-day. So hopefully that helps out just a bit. So let's go ahead and take some questions here. I'm interested in margin trading lesson, but can you give us your part of it too? Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm going to talk. I might talk a little bit more than he is about margin trading. I can talk for days about any subject in trading. I mean, that's my passion. Somebody says, how do you regulate these pump and dump teams? We don't have pump and dump teams, Benjamin Demers. And by the way, if you do post pump and dump groups into the Discord, you automatically get banned. There's a zero tolerance policy because we have serious investors and we want to make sure that we have a very pure community there. Love from Australia. Does market cap matter when trying to do price predictions? Stellar to the moon. Certainly, Fabio, it does matter because here's the thing. For a coin to go from, and I'll show you here, for a coin to go from $200 million in market cap, for example, if you were to look at a coin like Substratum at 255 million, for this to double, right? If you want to double your money, it's a lot easier for Substratum to go from 255 million to 500 million than for a coin like Ripple to go from 52 billion to 100 billion. Actually, it kind of seems easy now, right? That we were at 122 billion like a couple days ago. Now we're at 52 billion. It almost seems easy that Ripple can do the billions too. But for the most part, you know, arithmetically, it's harder for 52 billion to turn into 100 billion than for 250 million to turn into 500 million. So that's really where the market cap plays a part. Other than that, the market cap also plays a part in price manipulation. So let's say that the market cap is under 100 million. And let's say it's at, you know, if we pull up the next 100, you can see there are some coins here that are under 100 million, like Cloak Coin or Hemp Coin or Oyster or Qlink. These coins are more susceptible to price manipulation. What do I mean by that? Well, I'll show you exactly what I mean by that. Let's take this coin, for example, Primos, right? When you look at the markets here, Primos, if you pull up 24-hour volume, you can see how, look at that. You see this huge surge in volume here? That's institutional trading. That's big money that comes into the market. Because look, you don't see any sort of volume that went this high prior. That doesn't just happen. You don't just see money coordinate in that manner. That's price manipulation, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it's manipulation, but it is, right? Because it does manipulate the price when you're going through all of these order books, and that's why you see these crazy swings, 85%, right? So some strategists or some people, their strategy in trading is to just diversify within these small cap coins and then allow them to break out and then making their profits. And typically those breakouts are larger than those descending patterns. Mo did a super chat. Newcomers, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate that, man. That means a lot. That was out of nowhere. So hopefully that helped out. Let's take another question. Let's see if we got any more questions here. We'll do quick Q&A. More Q&A. Are you guys enjoying this tonight, by the way? Is this helping out a little bit? I was determining whether or not we were going to do the live stream, but I'm like, you know, we got to do it. It's always fun. It's always good. I'm still working on a lot of cool stuff. You know, I was actually talking to Tom today about some stuff for our website. Tahoe said, yes, sir, thanks. Somebody said Tron, Kyra. We did Tron. What do you think about Hemp Coin? That one guy, because I mentioned it now. I haven't done much of my due diligence, but I see a lot of these marijuana-based coins. There's definitely a need for it, in my opinion. Ryan said, you know it, brother. Johnny said, always. That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Ark Prashna. I appreciate the super chat. Somebody said, how much money have you made trading, Cryptex trading? Last month was really good for me. I did over 100% in returns. This month hasn't been so well for me, just to be quite frank and honest with you. I made some profits with the TNB trade that we called. I took my profits for that. By the way, if you guys are our Patreons and you guys made that trade, I've taken profits for that already. Just letting you guys know, for the TNB trade, I've taken my profits because you know, I'm trying to hit my goal for this month in terms of profit wise, and I'm definitely not, you know, on the best track towards that right now, but I'm expecting more upside in the market. November I did fairly well. It was under 100%, but I shoot for 100% every month in this market because of the fact that there's so much volatility. But it just seems like this month is just not really working towards the favor of many, and it's been really hard to you know, find out what coins are. I mean, I'm really looking for these obvious patterns, right? Let's pull up XLM, by the way, because this was breaking out earlier. Let's see if that's gonna see the breakout. All right. Let's see here. 1 hour chart. There you go. The wicks is starting to penetrate. So this certainly can break out, guys. If you guys are day traders, pull up this 1 hour or this 1 minute. There you go. Potential breakout right here, guys. For those of you day trading, if I was day trading this right now, you can see here. Huge upside right now. Actually, I would draw that like that. Starting to squeeze through that that resistance. The resistance is right over here. So you're seeing that it's testing it and it's staying up there. What do you think about trading bots? We have a guy on our Discord that uses trading bots. He actually codes it, which is interesting. Fernando said, will Verge ever break out? That's hilarious. Will Verge ever break out? As if it's never broken out. let's go ahead and pull up Verge really quick here. Naeem, are you still meeting with people in Santa Monica? I haven't done the Santa Monica meet yet, Ryan, but I do plan to do some sort of meetup soon. I've been busy actually meeting with some other individuals that, you know, I'm gaining knowledge from right now. I've decided to stay in Santa Monica for a little bit longer because I've been invited to a couple different crypto meetings that are going to occur over the next couple of weeks. And I think that that information is going to be really valuable. What I found was, you know, it's really hard in this market. What I'm realizing right now, this will help a lot of you guys, by the way. This will blow some of your minds. But, you know, I'm starting to break this down to you, but you look at a coin like Dogecoin, not to put this under the table, but for Dogecoin to be worth $765 million, like, what does this coin really have, right? Like, it's a decentralized peer-to-peer digital currency that enables you to easily send money online. Think of it as an internet currency. Like, you know, this coin has been around for a really long time, guys. You know, when you look at the technology behind coins like Monero, right, or Dash, or even coins like Zcoin, right, Zcash, I'm sorry, not Zcoin, Zcash, like, it will blow Dogecoin out of the water, in my opinion. And, you know, I just, it almost like it puts me into this mindset of, you know, it's not really about technology right now. It's not like, that's not where the money is being made. The money is just being made wherever the insider trading is occurring, right? Like, it's where all of the communities that are really they're in the know, like the communities that know what's going to happen, like they know what coin is going to see the most market adoption, or they know what coin is going to have the most marketing, or like something of that sort, right? And those are the ones that end up making the most money. And I'm realizing that. I'm like, man, I need to get myself around these people so I can help the community at least be aware of these coins before they're not, and before they're the ones that are quote unquote taken advantage of on those coins, right? So I'm not saying that every coin's being pumped, but for a most part, you're seeing all of these huge run-ups like Tron and Verge just kind of come up out of nowhere, and these coins are almost like coordinated to get to that point. It doesn't just happen, it's coordinated. And I'm realizing that, you know, I'm getting around these individuals, and, you know, they're talking about Stellar, and then look what happens to Stellar. It starts to shoot up. At the conference, they were talking, all they talked about was Stellar, and look what happens to Stellar. It's like completely going opposite to every other coin right now. Like, you look at BTC USD, it's going down, and Stellar's going up. So it's like, it's not about the technology behind Stellar. And Stellar has some great technology, but I'm just saying, like, do you guys agree with me or not? Like, I understand there's a time and a place for the technology, of course. Like, long term there is. But, like, right now, like, for the people that are making money now, like, understand, as a long-term investor, all of these coins could be wiped out. Let's say quantum computing gets integrated with blockchain, and it creates this whole new dynamic that all of these coins can't compete with, then all these coins get wiped out in terms of quote unquote technology, right? So it's almost like this marketplace of manipulation that's occurring right now. Some people say no, and I'm fine with that, because I'd love to hear your rebuttal in our Night Owl tonight. So if you really have the chichones and you really have the huevos to back your opinion up, then I dare you guys to come to the Night Owl and talk about it. Not in a bad way, I'm just saying. Like, you know, I'm just challenging your manhood. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying, come to the Night Owl and talk about it. Because I hate when people say, you know, oh, I don't think that's going to happen, and they don't have anything to back it up. But anyways, somebody says, do you have any concern about Tether? For sure, Ryan. I've always been, I've been concerned about Tether ever since, you know, October time frame, where it totally shot up in market cap, and, you know, they quote unquote have every dollar backing it. And it just, for me, it's hard to believe that they have over $1.5 billion in cold storage just backing all of their tokens, right? Especially because they're not burning any tokens. So the math just doesn't line up. They said they were going to release an audit. Where's their audit? Does somebody have their audit? I don't. Somebody said, yes, you are always right. I'm not always right. I'm just sharing my thoughts and my opinion. Somebody says, yeah, I think it's dumb. Stellar creator owns a ton of Ripple. Well, that's fun. Guys, Stellar's going to take over Ripple, and then he has like a whole cold storage of Ripple. Somebody says manipulation. But that's not a big deal that this Stellar owner owns a ton of Ripple. It's not a big deal because think about it. Number one, he started Ripple. Jed McCaleb created Ripple. And number two, Steve Jobs, he had a ton of stocks in Microsoft. So, like, you know, it's not that big. I mean, it's more of an investor decision and a business decision than it is you know, I support this decision. Because if that's the case, then Litecoin would have blown up when Charlie Lee sold all of his coins. If the owner of the coin is what determines whether or not, you know, the coin is going to succeed, you know, or what, you know what I mean. Hello, Naeem. That's not how you spell my name, but thanks for trying. Since January 1st till today, I see the chart of XRPs forming descending triangle. It means more dip. I like how you said that. Does it mean more dip? What do you mean, like hummus dip? Anybody here like hummus? I like hummus dip. I'm not making fun of your vocabulary. I'm just messing with you. All right, so let's go ahead and look at XRP. Is it going to continue to dip? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. One thing I will mention is it's very different than what's happening here on the left. Somebody said me. Chris Young said yeah. Julio Torres said yes. Me. Bitbuck said yeah. Nixon said love it. That's hilarious. Stewart said hummus. Hummus. Naeem, what percent of your investment is in fiat at the moment with plans to buy back at lower prices? 60% of my investment's in fiat right now. I got about 40% that's invested in partially Bitcoin and certain altcoins that I've held. Bro, you were going to look at the Verge chart. Please remember, man. All right. Somebody says these traders are basically a one-man pump and dump. I will drown myself in hummus if you don't cover Neo. Oh my gosh. Now you guys are trying to come up with the craziest thing to say. So looking at the one-day chart with the Ripple, I like the one-day chart because we're so close to this 50-day moving average. We're right around 17%. If Ripple were to consolidate, I think it would bounce off of that 50-day, kind of like this Wix bounced off of it. And in my opinion, what Ripple is looking to find right now is true support, because it tried to find support right around these levels of 14,000 Satoshis. It didn't find it. It tried to find some support around 13,000 Satoshis. It didn't find it. And then it tried to find support around 12,000, but it bounced up. And now it's starting to find support around 11,810 Satoshis. So I think as Ripple starts to find support, it's really going to give us a better perspective of where prices are headed. I understand there's a descending triangle forming here. You can see there's descending resistance line. However, I wouldn't necessarily call this a descending triangle just yet. For a descending triangle to be present, you need to have multiple different support lines that are staying in consistency with each other. So if, let's say, this candlestick popped down right here, this candlestick popped down right here, then this would be a descending triangle. But that's not what this is. So descending triangle, I'll go ahead and pull it up. Wow, our night owl is filled up. That is awesome. If you guys are not in the night owl, you're missing out tonight. Let's go ahead and pull up this descending triangle. So this is how a descending triangle is formed. So not to correct you or anything, but you need to have these multiple you need to have multiple touches with these support levels. So the candlestick has to touch the support level multiple times in order to be considered a descending triangle, because without that, then there's no true support, right? So this is not what's happening here. These did not occur. This is stuff that we just drew out. So I wouldn't call this a descending triangle just yet, because you can't just look at this one, you know, this one bar here and call this the bottom of the triangle. So this is what I mean when I say you need to let this chart mature a little bit. Now maybe you're talking about this small one right here, and that's fine. I might be, you know, I might be wrong with what you were looking at. You might be right, but I'm just saying if you were looking at that, that's not a descending triangle. But if you're looking at even this, there really isn't a descending triangle here. I would have seen the descending triangle and I would have called it out. I don't see a descending triangle. So, you know, I'll be sure to let you know if I see a descending triangle with the Ripple. You guys know that. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. I think we need to definitely let this mature. By the way, when somebody says, why are you ignoring a coin? I'm never ignoring a coin. So don't think I'm I think you're only saying that so that I can do it. But I don't. You obviously know that I get 100 requests at a time. I can't ignore a coin. There was one coin that we had to do here. I think somebody mentioned it. Sorry, we do have some super chats here. Joker 1990 said, should I convert 1 BTC to VeChain? I don't know. I mean, it's up to you, man. I don't know why you would do that, but if you want to pull up the VEN chart, if that's what you're implying here, I mean, I don't know if I would do it at these higher levels. Look how far we are from this 50-day. I just knew it. Before I even saw the chart, I called it. Look at that. We're 134% up on that 50-day. I don't know if you'd be smart to put a buy position in that right now. Somebody said pita chips are dope. That is hilarious. Somebody said, which exchange do you use? I use multiple exchanges. I use Gemini. I use Gemini when I want to deposit large limits. I also use Coinbase when I want to do instant transactions. Obviously, transferring that to GDAX so that there's no transaction fees. And then I also use Binance for my altcoins. So those are kind of like the three. Somebody said you skipped Verge. Okay, we can do Verge. I think Verge is one that people have a lot of holdings in. So maybe this will help some of you guys. XVG. Did we skip any that were in the title? We did Ethereum, we did Ripple, we did Tron, we did Bitcoin, and we did Qtum. Awesome. So Verge, let's see what's happening here with the Verge. Interesting. Very similar to Ripple. A little bit different though. Let's go ahead and remove these just so we can get a little bit of a better perspective. So I like Verge. Surprisingly, I'm going to tell you that I like Verge. And the reason I say I like Verge is look at the chart. I'm going to pull this up here for you guys, and you guys are going to see something pretty fun here. So if you look at Verge, you can see here we're cruising on this 50-day support level here. What does that mean for Verge? Well, in my opinion, when you're cruising along the 50-day, it's most likely going to break out positive, because typically the 100-day and the 200-day moving averages act as emergency support levels, whereas that 50-day moving average, if it starts to form a pattern upon that, or a channel, a horizontal channel upon it, that typically means that it's found its ground, it's found its bottom. Even though RSI is not completely down, it still can, you can assume that this is the bottom. Now, I think if we do touch this 50-day, we'll see this RSI start to go down a little bit. But for the most part, I like the fact that we're on these higher levels. Now, I don't want to trade Verge right now because of the fact that I'll show you right now. So you've got these clear support levels, and then you've got this descending resistance line here. I'm not going to draw that out right now because I want to focus on the support. So understand this, when you're trading a coin like this, you know exactly where the support is. What I would say is, if you want to put in a buy order, put your buy order here in the support level, and then set up a stop loss immediately under that. Because if it goes under that, that means it's going to most likely drop below that 50-day. And if it drops below that 50-day, then it's good to assume that it's going to head down to the 100-day. And if it's going to head down to the 100-day, well, guess what? The 100-day is all the way down here in green. And that green line is pretty much half of where it's at right now, 592 Satoshis versus 900 Satoshis. So I would be extremely cautious about Verge. If you are going to trade Verge, make sure you do it right. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Oh my gosh, a lot of spam here. Somebody said, are you waiting for Thursday to go shopping? Are you waiting for Thursday to go shopping? What do you mean, Bitcoin Blondie? I don't get it. What am I going to do on Thursday? The 25th? Could you elaborate? Maybe you can come into the Night Owl tonight, Blondie. Naeem, what are your thoughts on the total market cap? I think the total market cap might touch the 400 billion mark, if it hasn't already. What are we at right now? 538. I think we'll touch the $500 billion mark. We'll touch 400 billion, but I don't think we'll reach 400 billion. And the reason I say that is if you pull up the market cap, you guys understand the market cap also has support and resistance lines, right? So if you pull up the 1 year, or we'll pull up all, or here we'll do the 1 year, the year to date. So you can see here, year to date, we've been this low before, but we've never found support this low before. And this is really the first time that we've found real support at these lower lows. And what I would say in terms of the market cap is, in order for us to go lower than this, that means we would have to break this all-time low from this year, which was right around 417 billion. And I just don't think that's going to be possible with the market that we're seeing right now. You know, in total, I mean, we were never under, you know, 400 billion this whole time. And we're pretty much, this is also an indicator of why I don't think this is the doomsday for Bitcoin. But guys, like, if you think we're going to go under these levels, then, I mean, you must be very pessimistic about the future of Bitcoin. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll certainly see these levels start to increase and see some more upside, being the fact that we're at such low levels. And I know this is a log scale, so it looks a little bit, you know, different. If you pull up the linear scale, you can see a little bit of a different perspective here. If you pull up the all, I'll show you right now. So if you pull up the year to date, well, it doesn't even show too well here. Let's go ahead and shorten this time frame. Let's do 2 years. Okay. So you can see here. Do you see how we're pretty much at the bottom? Look at that. So we're pretty much at the bottom here. Like, if we go under this, it's going to be really bad for Bitcoin. That's basically what the point is here. Because you can see we were never really under that level before. And every time we've hit that low, we've always bounced back. So I think that's one reason we're starting to see a little bit more of, you know, these bull traps just kind of pop out of nowhere. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Let's take some questions outside of just market cap questions. I'm still wondering about that shopping thing on Thursday. What type of shopping am I going to do on Thursday? Are you going to take me shopping on Thursday? Thoughts on about January 26th? Oh, you're talking about the contracts. That makes more sense. We'll talk about that in Night Owl. Somebody said, can you do EOS, please? Conrad886. Somebody said Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin Blindie said, ha, 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 ha. If I go to San Francisco, you got to show me around. Somebody said, do you like the SRN project? I haven't looked at the SRN project, Tahoe, sorry. Are you going to live stream Night Owl Night? No, you guys can just join the Night Owl. You guys don't need to live stream it. If some of the mods can post, the mods were blasting the live chat today. If you can post the Discord, that'd be great. But yeah, we'll be in our Discord. So hopefully I'll see some of you guys there tonight on our Discord. We're going to be doing our Night Owl, and I highly recommend all of you guys get there. This is really where things get real and stuff like that. So we got a super chat. I do want to address this super chat here. Thank you so much, Mr. Prashnant. Naeem, could you just tell me, can I buy Ripple at this rate now? Trading rate XRP $1.36. I'm sorry, what? Let me read this again. Naeem, could you just tell me, can I buy Ripple at this rate now? Trading rate XRP 136. You can do whatever you want, but like I said again, in terms of putting in a buy order for Ripple right now, I wouldn't say it's going to be the worst thing you can do because we're so close to this 50-day. However, understand the RSI is pretty low right now and there's not much volume. So I would say be a little bit more on the conservative, be more on the conservative side of Ripple right now and just kind of wait it out a little bit. I think if you let this chart mature a little bit, you can probably get a better position in Ripple just depending on what happens with Bitcoin. Because once again, I expect there to be a little bit more downside over the next couple of days, if not the next day. And if that occurs, we're most likely going to see a little bit more downside for Ripple because you can see it's kind of following a pattern here. If you look at this pattern. It goes down, breaks out. It goes down and breaks out. It goes down. Guess what? Breaks out. Probably going to go down. So follow these patterns. You know, it's telling you what it's doing. And if you are going to buy, I would, at this point in a downward trend, I would buy here. I would buy at these lower levels. So I wouldn't buy at $1.36. I would buy at, you said $1.36. Let me pull up the USD chart for you. That's probably what you're looking at. So I would probably buy around 92 cents, right? Because I believe we can get down there again. Even here you can see down, up, down, up, down, up. Possibly going to be down. I don't want to get into my Elliott waves. If you guys want me to get into Elliott waves, then we can get a little bit more serious here in the house. We'll start doing Elliott waves in our live streams soon. I know that some people have asked about that in the past, so we'll definitely get to that point soon. Good answer. I think she or he will get a better price in 1 or 2 days. Good long hold. Thank you, Stuart. I like when people say good answer. Just makes you feel a little bit better. Especially when you have a lot of eyes on you. Somebody said Gen Trading View. What website is that? Jen Connors. All the websites are in the description below. Guys, let me tell you something really quick. When I started trading, I started with $100 in my pocket. I was working a full-time job and I was in the traditional markets, and it took me about 3 months to really make my first profit that was substantial. I made $100 out of my $100. I doubled it. And within those 3 months, I learned so much about trading. And then I lost all that money. I lost my profits. Any of you guys ever made profits and lost profits? I did the same thing. And the one thing that changed everything for me was finding somebody, and it was actually multiple individuals that I now consider mentors, that actually assisted me and helped me with my trading journey and giving me the guidelines of, hey, you know, this is a pattern. This is what's going to help you, right? This is what's going to show you the way. You know, understanding a head and shoulder, right? This is a reversal pattern, or understanding a breakout pattern, or understanding these indicators like the RSI, the relative strength index, the volume indicator, the MACD, you know, the Fibonacci. You know, there's so many different indicators that we're not using even percent of them. And, you know, the one thing I can tell you guys is in this crypto market, there are a lot of people that are, I would consider, lonely. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, and I hope this doesn't offend anybody, but a lot of you guys are lonely in the market. You don't have a community. You don't have, like you do, but you're not engaged in it. And I think that's really detrimental to your trading. And I highly recommend all of you guys tonight to join our Night Owl. So this right here is a community that we've actually created for all of you guys. It's a free community. There's no charge to it. There's no ads on it. It's actually literally just a community for you to learn and understand crypto. And tonight we're all going to actually head out of this live stream into this Night Owl. We're all going to be under this voice chat called voice_2. And you can actually see people are already
human greed and you know, just fuck the whole system to get.
Okay, let's not. It's uncensored, by the way, just to, you know, just to make that disclaimer. Unfortunately, you can't really control the mouths of others, right? But we're really going to get into some really good conversation here, guys. As you can see, there's nobody holds back here. So I hope you guys are all going to join in. We'll post that link right now. We're going to start heading over there soon. But I'd love to see some of you guys there tonight. I think it would be awesome to have some of you that are watching us for the first time out there. You know, all you got to do is click the Discord link. There's a desktop app, there's a mobile app, and there's also a web version, so you can just get on there any way you want. You don't have to talk. You can just listen in. Most people listen in, so you definitely don't have to talk. But I'd love to see some of you guys there tonight. So we're going to start heading over there, and we're going to continue the live stream pretty much there, where you guys can ask me questions, ask some of our moderators and our admin and our analyst questions. We're actually going to be doing a little bit of a margin trading 101 from one of our guys that are actually making profits in this down market, and he'll talk about how. So we're going to head over there right now. So we'll take one more request before we go over there. And then we'll start heading over there. Okay, I just clicked my own link. So this is how it's going to look, by the way, when you click the Discord link. So let's take one more request, guys, before we get out there. Somebody said, how do I get there, Leroy? Just click the link, and then once you click the link on the Discord, you can be taken over there. So somebody said Sniper's Coin, Colex. That's funny. We're going to do the Sniper's Coin. Johnny said, thanks. No problem, brother. Somebody said LTC. Let's do LTC, Litecoin. We'll do Litecoin. Let's pull up Litecoin here. Now, the interesting thing about Litecoin for me is, you know, I think Litecoin is in a really good position right now. What I mean by that is if you guys pull up the Litecoin chart, you can see based on this 50-day moving average. Let me go ahead and pull that up here for you. All right. So looking at Litecoin's chart right now, we're still within this squeeze. And squeezes are one of my favorite things to see in a channel because it really gives you confidence with your trades. And what I mean by that is you know exactly where these support and resistance lines are at. You know exactly where the prices are headed. And typically the squeeze, especially if it's near the 50-day moving average, which with Litecoin it is, you can see we're literally on top of the 50-day moving average. It really gives you confidence that there's going to be a potential breakout, and there really isn't much that will hold it back. Like the resistance level here is right around 0.001, whereas this resistance level is right around 0.02. We can actually do the LTC USD chart. I don't want to mind doing that here. Let's go ahead and pull up this one really quick. So even the LTC USD chart for me looks really good. Even though it's descending, there are a couple things you want to point out. We're touching this 100-day moving average, so we're most likely going to bounce off of this 100-day moving average. This actually looks better than the other chart. This looks way better than the other chart, in my opinion. And the reason I say that is if you look at this chart, check this out. You can see with this chart, these levels, it's descending, but you can see here we're bouncing off this 100-day. That's important. This is a very important indicator. Not only that, volume is starting to increase, it looks like. RSI is low. I'm really liking where Litecoin is at right now, but I still think we can get better positions on it. I think if you give it a couple of days, we can most likely see it go either in or under that 100-day. And I think that's really the best buying point. I think the best buying zone here is probably going to be right around this realm here for Litecoin. And if it can reach those levels, I think those would be the best places to put in those buy orders and get that, get that secure position so that you can hold that as we start to see the run up happen once again. So Mike said it's always going to follow Bitcoin. Yeah, it'll definitely follow Bitcoin. So we're going to head over to our night owl, guys. If you guys are not there, I'd love to see you guys there tonight. Thank you all so much. Did you guys enjoy this live stream tonight? What are those numbers near the volume? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, this is just trading view stuff, like different stuff that are posted here. Yeah, did you guys enjoy it tonight? Mordex said no. Okay, that's fine. Well, this will be the last live stream that we'll ever conduct here on the Snipers Tube channel. I'm just kidding. You wish. From 1 no and 100 yeses, you wish. Stuart H in the house. Thank you for tuning in. Dan Austin said, you the best dude. Oh, then he said JK. There you go. So that's still a yes then. Jeff Samuel said, thanks. Yeah, where do we go for the night out? In our Discord, Kragan. In our Discord. So join our Discord. The link is in the description. It's a free resource. You can pop it up. Thank you for posting that. Somebody says, tell them truth. Get out, LOL. I don't get it. Was great. You're the best. Thank you. Great show, Steven. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Devin, take care, Chile. Take care, Jeff. Take care, David. Take care, Steven. We'll see you guys in the night owl. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to go to the night owl. We're just going to transition. I like it because now we can talk to you guys. Now it's not just one-way communication. Now we're going to be talking. So, by the way, if you guys join the Discord, this is how you get into the night owl. I don't want to get a ton of questions about it because I don't have the time to answer them while we're talking. So, once you join Discord, on the left-hand side, go all the way down and then click voice_2. Now, in order to connect to this, you have to click this user settings button and then turn on your voice push to talk. So there's a button that says push to talk. You have to set up a shortcut key so that your mic doesn't always stay on. So click the user settings, click voice and video. It'll pop up like this, voice and video, and then you can click push to talk here. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out. And then you can join in, click voice 2. If you don't have a mic, just join the voice 2 chat. So we're all going to be under voice 2 chat. So voice 2 chat if you don't have a mic, and then voice 2 night owl here. Voice 2 chat, and then voice 2 is the night owl. That's where everybody's at right now. So can't wait to see you guys there. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. You guys are awesome. You guys make my day every single day. It's awesome. It's instead of me just doing charts alone, I get to do it with you guys, and it's awesome. It's almost like I have chart buddies. I gotta stop saying you guys because there's so many gals that participate, and it's not just guys. So guys and gals, thank you guys. Take care. Enjoy California. Thank you, brother. Take care, Jacob. Take care, guys. All right, like always, thank you for tuning in to the Snipers Tube live stream. Snipers out. That did not work out well. That did not work out well. All right, let's try that again. Snipers out.